Hey girls, it's Beyonce here, and I'm going to show you how to take a stock lace frontal and transform it into the Beyonce wig of your dreams. You ready? Let's go get them. Alright, so we're going to start with a 13 by 6 lace frontal, and you want a lace frontal that has different variations of lace because that's what makes it look flawless. Alright, so I'm going to start with my BW2 powder lightener and a 30 volume developer. I use 3 scoops. You don't need any more than that, and I don't mix the developer in right away. I like to measure it and slowly get the consistency I want, which is a really thick, almost thicker than toothpaste. You know, that's the consistency that we're looking for. Alright, so you're following along. Now we're going to measure and make sure that your consistency is key, because that's the major key. Alright, you want to make sure your brush is standing straight up and it will not move. You want to make sure that it is planted like a seed. Alright, we got the consistency down packed. Now I'm going to take a little bit of purple semi-permanent dye. This just helps get rid of those orange hues. We hate orange knots, don't we? And that's just going to help combat that. Anyway, just one little drop of that. Now I'm going to spread this like it is butter on some toast, okay? I am barely touching the lace. I'm not pressing it in. This is going to be really annoying because it kind of takes more work to just not press it in. You're going to just lightly have a feather touch and just spread it out. It's going to take some time, but this is going to make or break your lace frontal install. Alright, now it's time to bake that frontal, girls. We're going to lay it face down on a piece of aluminum foil. Aluminum, right? We're going to press the frontal in and make sure that it's really flat and flush, because the aluminum foil is going to speed up the heat, which is going to speed up the bleaching process. So I only leave the bleach on for about 20 minutes. Now I'm going to take my tail comb and make sure that I did not get any bleach on the roots of this hair, because that's just whack and amateur, right? And we are not amateurs. We are YouTube professionals, okay? So we're just going to go through, and the water on the wet paper towel is going to stop the bleaching. So that's how you get it off. Once I'm done baking this baby, I'm going to wash it with my Shimmer Lights purple base shampoo, and that is going to further combat those brassy knots that we hate so much. Work this in real good, y'all, and wash and condition as usual. This is the part when you can't contain your excitement because your frontal's looking flaky. It's looking like scalp right now. We know. We did it. You did that. So now this is the fun part. This is when you're going to get a little workout. So we're going to use T-pins to make sure that our frontal is really flush, flat, and tight, because we're going to be pulling. So we don't want to rip at the lace. And if it's tight and taut on the canvas head, that won't happen. Now we're going to section the top part of our head, because this is our future hairline, right? We're going to section the top part. And now I like to pluck almost in a random pattern. So I like pluck, skip a line, pluck, skip a line. So that's what we're going to do. And it's really simple. I know it sounds nuts, but you girls will see this slowly transforming before your eyes. You want to use those baby hairs to your advantage, especially if you're not gluing. This is going to help mask that line of demarcation, that line that, you know, bridges the frontal into your skin. The baby hairs are what draws the eye away from that. So you can see that it's shaping up. You girls can kind of see the pattern I was talking about. Now I'm going to pull out those baby hairs, because these are the golden hairs, okay? These are the hairs we don't want to get rid of. Now I'm going to do that same on and off again plucking method right behind that hairline, and I'm going to keep going back until this looks like a gradient hairline. I want it to go from light to dark. I don't want to see a light hairline and then just really dark hairline. Like, you want it to be very gradient is like the only word I could find right now. But yeah, you just want it to be a smooth blended hairline. So again, we're going to keep plucking until we have no harsh lines. Like, that is just way too thick. No one's hair goes from like baby hairs to super thick that fast. It's just not natural. And this is going to go on top of braids, so we have to make it look super natural. So I'm going to keep plucking and keep parting. I like to go back and forth between plucking going backwards and plucking going forwards, because when I parted that, I felt like that line was too harsh as well. So all we're going to do is make sure that this looks like a really well blended hairline. Just think about eyeshadow, how you go from like a harsh black to like a brown to like a light brown. This is what we want our hairline to do. You want it to go from baby hairs to a little thicker to really thick to full. So just gonna keep plucking. I'm not gonna talk too much because I don't want to kill you guys' vibes, but keep plucking, girls. You got this. Alright, so the hairline is finally looking nice. You can kind of see the difference. I'm going to turn the mannequin around so you can see the other side. It is really looking natural, you know? So we're going to start on the other side. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. You girls can see the flow is that of a natural hairline now. So I'm going to follow the same steps on this side. I got a little lazy. This is really hard to do and film so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So my arms are on fire and I do hair all day, every day. So I was just like, F it at this point, and I was going to town. But you girls can see the look that I'm going for. It's the same thing on the other side. You want that gradient effect. And you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just try not to over pluck in one area. For the top of the hairline, I'm gonna just do that pluck and skip method as well. This is really the area that doesn't have to be plucked too much because normally our hair is fuller in the crown and thinner on the side. So that's the way I prefer for mine to look. You can of course pluck it to your liking, but that's how TT does it. So at this point, it's been about 25-30 minutes and your frontal should start drying. Now, I suggest that you always work with a frontal when it's wet. I just feel like you get a more realistic lay and you get to kind of shape and mold the hair to go the way that you want it to go. So it's easier to kind of visualize and see what it will look like on yourself. Now, I like to use a razor and scissors to get my baby hairs to lay. You don't want them to be too blunt because that makes it look a little, you know? So just kind of use your scissors sparingly and in a very choppy motion. You don't want it to be really blunt baby hairs. Now the baby hairs, I mean, to each his own. I personally do not have really thick, you know, luscious Indian, I can touch my eyebrows with my baby hairs. But you know, like I just prefer to make sure that the baby hairs on my frontals mimic the baby hairs on myself and on my clients. So that is the key to customization, making sure it is as realistic as possible. I prefer not to have a really drastic change because that's going to make people stare. And I want you to stare for the right reasons. You know, I don't want anybody sneaking and taking a picture of me and roasting me online. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, just really light and sparing baby hair, just enough to cover that lace, honey. And I like to sweep it backwards into the hairline. And that's pretty much it. So I hope this video was helpful. You can purchase your lace frontal here. I will also list the link in the bio. These are really high quality frontals and I think you girls will definitely get the look that you want after following this tutorial. I will also be posting a video on how I constructed my lace frontal wig. Please click on this next video to see how I actually installed it. I'll have all the series linked together. Thank you so much for watching and commenting. If this helped, be sure to thumbs up this video, like, comment, and share. Help me get this video to 100K so I can release the construction video. I'm going to show you girls how I made my lace front wig. Love you. Bye.